Welcome to Finding Faith in Funny. My name is Chase. This is my podcast. I'm a stand-up comedian, a father, a recovering people pleaser, and a man who once thought that arguing Facebook comments counted as missionary work. Now, listen, I've realized something as I'm getting ready to launch into this new project with this podcast. Some of you are probably thinking that this podcast is a religious show. And maybe some of you are thinking it's an anti-religious show. And maybe some of you think that it's me trying to be sneaky, trying to convert you with punchlines. Now listen, whatever you're thinking, honestly, that's on me. That's my fault. So let me just clarify. This podcast is not about proving that I'm right. I'm not here to convert you. I'm not here to deconstruct you. I'm not here to own anyone. Twitter already exists for stuff like that. This show is about something much more controversial. Letting other people talk. Yeah, I know. Brave, right? Listen, what you need to understand is I'm going to be interviewing people from all beliefs and all different lifestyles. Anything from devoutly religious to militantly atheist to spiritually fluid, culturally something, formerly something, whatever. Don't put me in a box. All of it. Because I don't think the world needs another echo chamber. We have plenty of those. You can go online right now and find 40,000 people who already agree with you and will reassure you that you are the smart one and everyone else is a sheep. Now listen, if you're religious, you're going to call everyone else lost. And if you're an atheist, you're going to call everyone else delusional. Either way, I promise you this. We are all sheep just following different shepherds. We've all just picked a different pasture. So, just to be clear, the only agenda I have on this show is this. Laughter, leveling the playing field, and that's it. Comedian and social media star Rodney Norman once said, "You are either a child of God or a cosmic miracle. Either way, you're pretty freaking awesome, so please act accordingly." Now listen, if you're religious, maybe laughter is a gift from God. And if you're an atheist and we evolved from apes, well, apparently apes have now developed sarcasm. Either way, it's incredible. Somewhere between, throwing a rock and building an iPhone, evolution went, okay, but what if we make jokes instead of throwing fecal matter at each other? It's amazing. We've clawed our way up the food chain just to invent stand-up comedy and memes. And don't tell me that's not divine or miraculous in some way. I mean, have you seen TikTok? We're hanging on by a thread. But humor is the one place where the labels get quiet. When two people who disagree laugh at the same thing, for 1 second, nobody is trying to win. Nobody is defending a tribe. Nobody is drafting a rebuttal. Nobody is Googling facts that prove that I'm superior. When you're laughing, you're just human. It's built into you. And that's what matters to me. Because I've noticed something. The moment anyone says, I'm Christian, or I'm a Mormon, or I'm Jewish, or I'm an atheist, or I'm an ex whatever, we immediately, subconsciously or consciously, start building a file on what they've told us they are. And we start thinking, oh, I know who you are. I know what you believe. I know what you think about politics. I know who you voted for. Oh, I know what you're like in bed. We skip the person and we go straight to the stereotype. And then we wonder why everyone feels unseen and misunderstood. So this is what I want to do differently. I want to sit down with people I agree with and people I don't agree with. People who understand me and people who don't understand me and vice versa. And I'm going to ask questions, not to trap them, not to debate them, not to score points, but to understand maybe a little better how they see the world or how they experience something. And then we're going to see what makes it funny and how we can laugh together. Because if you can laugh at something, whatever it is, it stops owning you. Religion, funny. Atheism, funny. Church culture, very funny. Ex-church culture, also very funny. Marriage, extremely funny. Single people with their, I just want to retire and travel the world dreams, you're hilarious. I have 3 kids. My travel dream is just to go to Walmart alone. That's perspective. But here's the edge part. We live in a time where disagreement feels like betrayal. Like if you don't agree with someone 100%, they're going to deem you as evil or stupid. And that's the rule now. You can disagree about God, politics, parenting, vaccines, gender, money, and somehow it's all going to come down to you're just a bad person from the other side. That's insane. Because 2 people can look at the same universe and come to different conclusions. It's been happening forever. One person looks at the stars and says, that's proof of a higher creator. Another person looks at those same exact stars and says, that's proof of cosmic randomness. You're both staring at the same sky. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to figure out how to get my kids to put their shoes on without threatening eternal consequences. We're all just trying to make sense of existence. And it's weird. It's really, really deeply weird. You're a conscious being made of meat spinning on a rock in a galaxy you can't comprehend, arguing about who's morally superior. That's hilarious and terrifying. So here's my belief, and I'll own this as my belief. I understand it's not yours. I think laughter is sacred. And if you don't like the word sacred, fine. I think laughter is primal. I think it's survival. I think it's the thing that keeps us turning from turning into monsters when life gets heavy. And if you believe in God, maybe maybe laughter is divine design. And if you don't, maybe it's evolutionary brilliance. Either way, it works. You ever notice you ever notice that you can be in a heated argument with someone and then you laugh at something absurd because something absurd happens and it takes you out of that moment just for a minute? That laugh does more than a 10-page essay ever could, because it reminds you, oh yeah, you're a person, I'm a person. You're not a headline. You're not a political stance. You're not a theology. You're not a stereotype. You're a person. I'm a person with fears, with doubts, with contradictions. And you know what's funny? Religious people have doubts. Atheists have doubts. Everyone doubts. We just doubt different things. Nobody doubts that a joke feels good. That is universal. And I want this podcast to be a place where you can hear someone that you disagree with, and instead of tightening up, you soften a little. You don't have to agree. You don't have to convert. You don't have to deconstruct. You just have to listen. And if you do, you will laugh. Because here's the truth. If your belief system can't survive being joked about, then your belief system is not that strong. And if your disbelief system can't survive being joked about, same thing. Fair is fair. I'll joke about church. I'll joke about atheism. I'll joke about myself the most. Because if I can't laugh at my own contradictions, I'm not ready to host a show like this. I've believed things very strongly. I've doubted things deeply. I've changed my mind on some things I believe. And I've clung to ideas, and I've had to let some ideas go. And I'm still here. I'm still curious, still laughing. So when you listen to Finding Faith in Funny, don't come in here looking for a winner to prove you right. Come looking for humanity. Come looking for the awkward tension when someone says something bold. Come looking for the moment where we realize we're more alike with our insecurities than we are in different ideologies. Because here's what I know. When you think whether you think laughter comes from heaven or from highly evolved primates who figured out irony, it just brings us back to each other. And in a world that's constantly trying to separate us into teams, this feels like rebellion. So yeah, I'm going to interview believers. I'm going to interview skeptics. I'm going to interview people who've lost their faith. I'm going to interview people who doubled down, and people who don't know what they are anymore. I'm here to talk about it and to laugh with them about it. And sometimes it might be uncomfortable. Good. Growth usually is. But if we leave each conversation thinking, I don't fully agree with you, but I see you, that's the win. Not a culture war win, a human win. So, welcome to Finding Faith in Funny. No secret agenda, no conversation funnel, no ideological purity test. Just curiosity, courage, stories, and yes, humor. We're going to talk to people, we're going to laugh, and we're going to see what happens. All right, before we wrap up, if something that I've said in this introductory episode has hit you and made you laugh or made you uncomfortable or made you say yes in your car or whisper, I'm not really sure about that, whatever it is, I actually want to hear from you, whether you agree or disagree. Seriously, I do, because this show is only going to work if it's a conversation. So write me an email at faithinfunny@gmail.com. faithinfunny@gmail.com. Send your stories. Send your doubts. Send your faith crisis. Send your story about I left my religion and now my mom won't stop sending me conference talks. Send me your I found God at a Costco parking lot. Send your awkward church moments. Send your atheist grandma's best joke. Send something that you've been scared to say out loud, or just send a solid punchline that you're proud of. This is not a members only club. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to disagree with me. You just have to be a human. And if you believe in what I'm building here, and if you believe this is going to be a good thing, and these conversations, like if you believe like in these conversations without pitchforks and laughter without tribal warfare, you can also help support the show. There's going to be production costs. There's time, there's equipment, and there's going to be emotional costs of reading whatever comments come on the YouTube page. So if you'd like to donate and help keep Finding Faith in Funny growing, I would be really grateful. No pressure, no guilt. No, plant your seed of faith and receive a financial blessing, unless that works, in which case I receive it. But truly, your support helps keep this independent and curious and brave. So again, the email to reach out with your questions or stories, whatever, faithinfunny@gmail.com. Send your jokes, send your perspectives, send your questions. And if you're able, send a little fuel for the ship on the mission here. Because whether laughter comes from heaven or highly evolved primates with anxiety, it's better that we share it. I'll see you next time on the next episode, which will have our first guest coming out Monday, March 2nd. Thanks for listening.